Hello and welcome to this week's video newsletter. Did you like the introduction music, the BBC Golf soundtrack? Found that in the archives, having a little play with the iMovie edit, found out I could do that. Oh, I'm learning fast on the job with these videos. Got to up my game because Ollie is doing the Ping i230 review in this video a little later on, and you can see how clever he is with the edits and on that sort of thing. So that's why I've done a little theme tune. Hope you liked it. Let me know if you did or you didn't. There goes the doorbell. Hopefully that might be my new GC quad. I've just ordered. We're upgrading the technology. I'm getting rid of the GC2 HMT and going with the new GC quad, which is that silver box that you see all the best players in the world using when they're practicing on the practice ground and driving range. So we're changing that. We're getting rid of the GC2, the HMT, and using a quad. The data is going to be a lot more accurate. It's a larger hitting area. It's a lot more portable, so I can take it outside now and do lessons outside as well. So that'll be great. So if you know, sometimes we get in here, you want a driver lesson or a driver fitting, and we want to know the data, but you're not very comfortable about swinging a driver in here because the ceiling can be a little bit low for some of you. Then we can take the GC quad out up onto the practice ground and use it up there and get all that data and all those numbers that will help you develop your game. So that should be here any minute now. That might have been the doorbell there. That might be the call. I'm very excited to go and have a look, but I'll finish this newsletter first. So it's all changed. Fancy new theme tune music, new technology coming in the studio. Things are looking very rosy. Ollie doing a fantastic club review of the Ping i230. Take that out later. Plus the fact we've got our match, the fourth-hole of a match where I make the comeback. But first of all, let's go to competition news. And unfortunately, we've had a week of bad weather, really, haven't we? We had sort of monsoon rain on Thursday morning, where the golf course was closed. It was just so wet. Not necessarily the playing surfaces, they were okay, but it was the walkways. Because we're on such a narrow piece of land, again, the walkways, everybody goes the same way to get to the next tees, etc. And they just get so muddy and slippery. So unfortunately, Danny took the decision to close the golf course for the day. And much the same on Sunday as well. Sunday, the morning starters got out there nice and early, but kind of by mid-morning, the deluge has started and the golf course started to get waterlogged as well. And again, those walkways, the hills and the slopes get very slippery. So it gets very dangerous. So the competition on Thursday and the competition on Sunday were both called off because of the weather. So we only had one competition last week, and that was the ladies divisional medal. So let's go back to that, where Pauline Phillips won Division 1 with a net 78, and Vera Warnoff won Division 2 with a net 79. Somebody's forgot to put 50p in the meter, and we've run out of light by all accounts. I think one of my bulbs has gone actually, but we'll keep soldering on through. On PGA Tour news, Russell Henley won in Mexico at the Mayakoba Classic. He won by 4 shots in the end, went into the last round with a 6-shot lead, and then held on to win by 4, very comfortable winner. Scotty Scheffler came third, well, number 2, shot 62, final round to come third. I think Brian Harman came second. There was nothing on the DP World Tour because they're all doing the qualifying score at the moment. Lots of rounds to get through to try and make it to the main tour, so there was no event this week. On the LPGA Tour, we had a bit of Scottish success. Gemma Drysborough from Scotland, she won the Japanese Toto Classic, I think it was called, over in Japan, but it was part of the LPGA Tour, so that'll get her some big starts now in all the big tournaments. So that was great to see. Gemma Drysborough, Scottish girl, winning on the LPGA Tour. Right, okay, so welcome to Ollie's little club review. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think, or let us know what you think. Ollie's editing is very, very clever. That's why I had to do the theme tune at the start there, just so he can steal my thunder. But yeah, it's a great review, very honest, very informative. So if you want to book yourself in a fitting after looking at Ollie's video, then let us know. Either give us a call, drop us an email, or reply to this newsletter, and we can book you in for a fitting to try the Ping i230s. Enjoy it.
Hey guys, it's OC. I'm here to give a club review of the new Ping i230 iron. It's a new iron that's going to be replacing the old Ping i210. It's going to be coming out this week. It's an iron that, in initial thoughts, looks really good on the eye. Something that Ping haven't historically been that good at, producing that performance iron that looks lovely, but they are up in their game in the recent years. And again, looking at this on initial thoughts, it looks lovely. They're going with a premium feel and sound, so it's going to be interesting to see when it's hitting it how it feels off the face and what the sound of it's like as well. They're also gone with saying that they've got the lowest centre of gravity in the head. What that will do is produce a bit of distance, which is going to be interesting to see, because you're almost looking for this sort of iron for the gapping of the iron to be perfect and not too dissimilar in terms of numbers. So hoping to see consistency with numbers when hitting them with a 7 iron. So we'll be interested to see how that comes up. Also with the clubs, they've got that white line that got across the bottom groove, which they do with many of their irons. It's something so basic but works so well. It just really does help you set up to the ball, and you can almost see when it's closed or open, and it just looks good as well. So again, they're sticking with that, which is great. Also, some foot's going to be interested, hopefully I'm going to get a chance to go outside and have a go with, is they're saying within the irons they're going to be able to perform just as well in the wet as well. So it'll be interesting to see when I go outside, when the sun comes down, it gets a bit of dew on the ground, how they go out and perform off the grass when it's a little bit wet. So I'm interested to see that, but I'm going to be comparing them against my current irons, which are TaylorMade P760s, and seeing how they come up against them. So enjoy the rest of the video, and hopefully we're going to see what the performance is like of the new Ping i230 iron. So again, this is a club I've only just picked up. I haven't even necessarily had a practice with it, just a couple of swings. It's a club that filled me with confidence straight away. Just the way it sits behind the ball, it looks lovely. Yeah, it's a club that I really liked hitting. The feel of it was amazing, and I like the sound as well, which hopefully later on you're going to be able to see. And it does have that bit of forgiveness in the club that any golfer, like I say, needs. And you could just tell, even when when it didn't quite strike it out of the middle, it was still going relatively well. And it'd be interesting to see in the next slide if I've gained any distance with it. But it certainly felt like I was hitting that a little bit harder. So reviewing the data from the GC2, we can see that I've gained a little bit more ball speed, which is always good. I've lost a little bit of backspin, which could be good and bad sort of thing, depending on the player, but I have definitely lost 300 revolutions of backspin. I've hit the ball relatively maybe slightly straighter with a little bit more peak height. The carry distance has gone up 3 yards, but what you can see, and again, this is going to be an iron, like I say, you want consistent gapping. If you look at my ones, I've only sort of hit every shot between 4 yards. With the Ping i230, the number's a little bit more spread, where I've hit 165 to 171, so it's almost 6 yards. So the consistent gapping isn't quite as good with the Ping i230 as it was with my P760. So after trying them on the simulator, I wanted to take them outside and take them on the grass and see how they felt off there, and almost be able to hear that noise outside off the face and how they felt. The grass wasn't as wet as I'd like, so it's hard to give an indication on if those grooves really do work in the wet. But I did really like trying them outside, and again, hopefully you can hear on the video what they sound like. From what I've seen, these are going to be so popular this year from in the Ping range. They don't just offer you that feel, but they give you that forgiveness that any golfer needs. So I can see many golfers, certainly they're lower handicap golfers, even those mid-range handicap golfers, to have a try with these because they're beautiful. And you look at my numbers, they're all pretty much been improved ever so slightly. And I tried it with exactly the same shaft that I have in my irons, which were custom fitted to me, and length and everything like that. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment and see what you think of the video. But many thanks and goodbye.
Great stuff, Ollie. Well done. Good review that, I think. Like I say, did very well using all the low camera angles and all that, doesn't he? He's a bit more artistic than me, I think. But yeah, good review, good information there. I say, if you want to come book yourself a fitting for the new i230s, they are very, very impressive golf clubs. Right, now we move on to the 4th hole of the match versus Duncan versus Oli, and a bit of a comeback starts for me. Enjoy it. Right, after my disaster on the last hole, it's Ollie's on it. One up in our little match.
So 1 up in the match.
Fourth hole.
Fourth hole, playing 215, but into the wind, and like I say, cold wind as well, so it's playing a long way.
215 into the breeze. 2 iron, Ollie?
I've got 2 iron.
That's all you got, I think, isn't it? Same with me, mate.
About my 235 club, so.
Yeah. Tough hole again, another tough hole. Walk off with 4, we're not overly disappointed. Normally relies on a short game to get it up and down. Great strike. Just, oh, it's not cut back. Left bunker maybe? Yeah, good strike though, well done. Tough hole this one. It's always, we don't hit the green very often from 215 yards, so. A 2 iron as well. It's not a very trusty 2 iron these days. I've lost my trusty 2 ironness really, as we saw from the last hole. But for me to get it 215 into the breeze, I'm probably going to have to keep it a little bit lower. So I'm just going to kind of move it back in my stance a little bit, just to keep the flight down. Let's see if I can just chase it up there.
Oh, lovely line.
Sharp, good line. Got to go a little bit. I didn't quite catch all of it. Bit toey maybe. Might just get the front edge. Right, Ollie's just missed it left. There's the left-hand bunker. He's got plenty of green to work with. He's got to counter the bump from the bunker, the edge of the bunker there, the bank. So he's just got to counter that. What club you got, Ollie?
So I've got 54. There's a couple of ways I'd try and play this. I could try and bump it actually into it and roll it over the top. I'm going to try and fly it over the top a little bit. Short game in terms of chipping is probably my weak part of my game. So
He's got a good lie though. He's got a good lie. That's Ollie's weakness. He just gets a little bit scared of chipping. Just gets in his head a little bit sometimes. Wasn't very confident there. Never mind. So just a little bit short. Not a bad leave. I didn't quite catch the 2 iron, but I'm happy with the result. Really, I say I don't hit the green very often on here, and nor with the best players in the world. 215 away from the hole is a tough green to hit. So I've left myself in a good spot. I'm debating whether to chip it or putt it. There's lots of grass, autumny grass I call it, bit scruffy, faux worm casts. In the summer I'd probably putt it, but I'm a decent chipper of the ball, so I am going to chip it. It's chipping into the upslope a little bit. Greens are still a little bit sandy, so I've got to weigh that into the equation. I'm probably going to go with my 54 and just land it halfway to the hole. With 54 is the sand wedge effectively. New wedges in the bag, new Callaway wedges with a rusty face, so we're expecting a bit of spin. Halfway to the hole, he says.
yeah, nice.
Go on in, go on in, go on in. Oh, really happy with that. So a nice little chip for me on the 4th there. I do like my chipping. Unlike Ollie, it's his weakness. For me, it's a strength. So I'm pretty happy with my chipping. I've got a little tap in here, so I'm just going to tap it in for my par 3. Always nice to do on the 4th hole. Tough hole, so any par 3 is always greatly welcome. Right, Ollie, after his disappointing chip, has left himself 30 foot for par. What do you see here, Ollie?
It's not going to move too much. It's almost one of those ones I want to get the pace right and give it a go by just almost hitting it.
So yeah, if you get the pace right on most of your putts, this is everybody watching, you'll never be that far away from the hole. Pace is so important, especially from this range. It's a good line. Yeah, it's a good putt, Ollie. Well done. Okay, we took a 4. He'll be disappointed with that, but if you go 4-4 down, go 4-4 down 3 and 4, that's not the worst thing in the world. Plenty of birdie chances. Okay, so there we have it. I get a hole back. I like a nice little up and down from just short of the green for a 3. Ollie just struggled with his chipping there a little bit. So yeah, nice 3 for me. Don't par that hole very often, or if I do, it's a chipping and putt. 215 yards to hit the green is a long way. Just put that in perspective, and I love my stats, as you know, loves my data. PGA Tour average from 215 yards, they only hit the green 41% of the time. What about that? Yes, only 4 out of 10, the best players in the world, hit that green in 1. So that's how difficult that hole is. Average proximity to the hole is 50 feet, 49 foot 10 basically. So 50 feet is a good shot, is an average shot for the best players in the world. So that's how hard the fourth hole. So if you don't hit the fourth green very often, nor with the best players in the world, so don't worry about that. And they're probably hitting 6 irons or 5 irons into it, as opposed to me and Ollie hitting 2 irons, and most of you would be hitting driver, yeah? So the fourth hole, very difficult hole, always relying on chipping and putting. That often, I reckon I'd probably hit it 2 out of 10. But chipping and putting, that's what it's all about. And yeah, that cost Ollie that hole, so back to all square. Right, okay, that's everything for this week. Thanks very much for watching. If you've got any questions, just drop us an email or give us a bell or comment on this video. And we look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.